Good Tuesday evening, June 3rd, and welcome to a very somber edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you. A Quincy man was killed Monday in a single vehicle rollover crash on Highway 28 near Crescent Bar. Douglas County commissioners celebrated the completion of the Upper Pearl Hill Bridge replacement project last week. Expect warmer weather through the week with temperatures between 90 and 100 degrees by this weekend. Your hot local weather forecast is straight ahead. A tragic turn in a story the community has been following for days. The three young Wenatchee girls, missing since Friday, have been found dead, and their father is being hunted in the mountains of western Chelan County as a murder suspect. The bodies of 5-year-old Olivia Decker, her 8-year-old sister Evelyn, and 9-year-old sister Peyton were all found late Monday in a national forest campground. As of now, their father and the suspect in their deaths, Travis Caleb Decker, remains at large, and police want your help in apprehending him. NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins has the story, and we warn our viewers this account contains graphic details.
Olivia, Evelyn, and Peyton Decker were sisters. They were students at Lincoln Elementary in Wenatchee, ranging from kindergarten to 3rd grade. They were performers with Wenatchee's Short Shakespearean's Youth Dramatic Company. But this week, their lives were brutally taken, with their father now sought by police as the suspect. The girls' bodies were found Monday afternoon by Chelan County Sheriff's deputies near Rock Island Campground, about 17 miles west of Leavenworth. Their father, Travis Caleb Decker, age 32, remains at large and is wanted on suspicion of 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 of kidnapping. Decker took his children on Friday for a scheduled 3-hour custodial visit, but never returned them to their mother. According to police affidavits filed in Chelan County Court when their bodies were found, the girls' wrists appeared to have been zip-tied and plastic bags placed over their heads. They're believed to have died from asphyxiation. In a press release, Wenatchee Police Captain Brian Chance asked for community assistance in locating Decker. He is 5 feet 8 inches tall with black hair and brown eyes, last seen wearing a light-colored shirt. Police say Decker is a former military member with extensive training who may pose a significant risk if approached. It is not known whether Decker is armed. Anyone seeing him is urged to call 911 immediately and not make contact with him. Chelan County Undersheriff Dan Osmond said ground search teams continue to look for Decker in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Partners in the search include the FBI, Homeland Security, and the U.S. Border Patrol. Today, Wenatchee School Superintendent Corey Callahar said the Lincoln Elementary community is devastated by the loss of Olivia, Evelyn, and Peyton. Counselors were put on call today to assist students who may be grieving. Callahar called it an absolutely heartbreaking day. Supporters of the girls' family have started a GoFundMe page to raise money for expenses and legal costs related to the tragedy. Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
A climber was rescued from Snow Creek Wall in Leavenworth last week after he fell and broke his ankle. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office said the incident occurred on Friday after 5 p.m. The man was climbing a route known as Outer Space. The mountain rescue crew were able to make their way down to him to stabilize him and lower him another 800 feet to a better location. The U.S. Army assisted with a helicopter and flew the injured man to Pangbourne Memorial Airport. The rescue took 9 hours to conduct. The effort was also assisted by Chelan County Search and Rescue and Chelan County Emergency Management. A Quincy man was killed Monday in a single-vehicle rollover crash on Highway 28 near Crescent Bar. The Washington State Patrol says that at approximately 11:56 p.m., 23-year-old Brian L. Sorta B. was traveling eastbound when his vehicle left the roadway. Sorta B. reportedly overcorrected, causing the vehicle to roll before it came to rest in the eastbound lane. Sorta B. was traveled by air ambulance to Confluence Health Hospital Central Campus for his injuries, where he later passed away. His 2022 Toyota Tundra was totaled, and State Patrol has confirmed that drugs or alcohol were involved. Travelers on Highway 2 between Leavenworth and Shaston will see single-lane closures and flagger-controlled traffic early next week. A contractor for the Washington Department of Transportation will be installing traffic signals and pedestrian push buttons at the intersection of Main Street and Highway 2 in Shaston. The contractor will also install compression seals at both ends of the bridge over the Wenatchee River in Leavenworth. Work begins on Monday, June 9th and is scheduled for up to 10 working workdays. Work hours are from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then 6:30 p.m. Thursday night to 7 a.m. on Friday morning. When we come back, Manson students will soon be unable to say they never learned how to do taxes in school, and Chelan County is looking for applicants to fill a 2-year term on the county's Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. I'm Grant Olsett, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Manson students will soon be unable to say they never learned how to do taxes in school. A new financial literacy program is coming to the Manson School District next school year. The grant-funded K-12 program aims to teach students skills in personal finance. The initiative is a partnership between the district and Consumer Jungle, a nonprofit that helps educators and students get connected with financial education opportunities. Manson High School math teacher Kate Sorensen will serve as the district's financial literacy lead and develop a new curriculum that includes budgeting, credit, investing, and taxes, all designed to serve students district-wide. Douglas County Commissioners celebrated the completion of the Upper Pearl Hill Bridge Replacement Project last week. The bridge sustained significant damage during the Cold Springs Canyon and Pearl Hill fires, which burned over 413,000 acres in 2020. It was already on a monthly monitoring schedule at the time due to weakened steel cap beams. The new bridge is 10 feet longer and wider with a 40-foot span and 34-foot width and is expected to last 100 years. The $2.7 million project was funded by the Washington State Department of Transportation Local Bridge Program, which focuses on preserving and improving bridges that are physically deteriorated. Chelan County is looking for applicants to fill a 2-year term on the county's Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. The volunteer board makes recommendations to the county commissioners on the allocation of tax dollars produced by overnight stays in unincorporated areas. Half of the 6-member commission represents hotels, motels, lodges, and short-term rentals, while the other half represents agencies and nonprofits that are eligible for lodging tax dollars. Candidates for the open position must represent a lodging-related business in the unincorporated area of District 3. That's the northeast section of the county, including Chelan and Manson. Applications are due June 30th and can be found on the Chelan County website. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will tell you about Coordinated Entry, a local program that refers people struggling with homelessness to much-needed services. Unseasonably warm temperatures are expected through the week with possible record-setting heat this weekend. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Celebrate the class of 2025 with the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee ceremony Friday, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by our Platinum supporter Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Community Glass, Feller Orthodontics, Focal Point Educational Services, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Iwa Sushi and Grill. Join us for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation Friday, June 6th on the NCWLIFE channel.
Coordinated Entry lead John Davies has personal experience with homelessness. For the last year, he's worked for the local program that refers people struggling with homelessness to services in the community. So far, more than 800 people have been helped by Coordinated Entry so far. In tonight's features story, Davies went on the Chelan County Connection podcast to discuss why he chose the job and to share some updates.
I chose this job because I wanted to give back to the community. I struggled with homelessness myself, and I received help through Coordinated Entry when I couldn't find affordable housing to rent. After I found stable housing, I chose to volunteer with the Chelan Douglas Homeless Housing Task Force and was selected as the alternate lived experience chair. I attended a few task force meetings and workshops on the 5-year homeless housing plan. I saw how committed other members of the task force were to combating homelessness. And when the position for Coordinated Entry became available, it felt like a great fit for me to work full-time on the issues surrounding homelessness. So I applied and I resigned my position from the Homeless Housing Task Force. And really the best part of the job is finding people a safe place to stay, whether it's a transitional or permanent place. I remember the stress of not knowing where to go at night to sleep, and I try to meet each member of our community with compassion and understanding. From the beginning of this year, January 1st to today, we have had 838 clients experiencing homelessness enrolled in Coordinated Entry, and about 400 households have applied for rent assistance. So our largest group is between the ages of 35 and 44. There's about 169 residents enrolled at that age group. We also have about 57 residents over the age of 62. Our clients are split almost evenly between men and women, and one of our smallest demographics is veterans. We have 12 veterans enrolled, which is still too many. We're not clinicians, we're not diagnosing anyone, but about 45% of the people enrolled self-report a mental health disorder, and just under 25 report substance use disorder. And these may be people in active addiction or people in recovery. Out of our clients, we have about 18% of people enrolled during this time report chronic homelessness, which is homelessness lasting a year or more, or multiple times spent homeless over the past 3 years, adding up to 12 months. I touched on my experience with homelessness. I spent some time in my car and then outside. That was hard. I leaned on family and friends until I wore out my welcome and ran out of places to go. And not having a safe place for myself, let alone my personal belongings, is something I never want to experience again. And I want to help others to get out of that experience. So I take each interaction with our community members seriously, and I want to help them find a housing solution, even if it is just temporary. Our transitional housing partners are key to the work that we do. We practice progressive engagement, which is engaging in problem-solving conversations with the client, referrals to resources, basically tailoring support and meeting the clients where they are. And we hope to collaborate with them to find a solution. We're not doing it for them. We want to work with them. I know it can be hard to ask for help, and I know each person has their own story. Homelessness is an issue countrywide, and it's a hard problem. And I hope that by working together, both with clients and agencies, we can bring safety and security to our community.
Time now to take a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a good Tuesday, and it wasn't bad weather-wise out there. Temperatures slowly warming up. We saw plenty of sunshine along with, as I like to call them, those fair weather clouds looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from this afternoon. That from our tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. And talk about a warm-up. We're going to see it as we make our way through the week. Here we are at the bottom of the screen. About the same tomorrow, the weather tomorrow as we had today. And then the warm-up begins Thursday into Friday, Saturday to kick off our weekend, 94. And look at these two temperatures on both Sunday and Monday. We are looking at temperatures near 100 in Moses Lake. You could see 100 degrees as we get into Monday. And those obviously could be record-setting temperatures. Today, unofficially, high temperature 80 degrees, 75 is where we should be for this time of year. Our record high, 98, and that was set back in 1970. Pretty much in line as far as lows go this morning. 55 our reading, 53 is our normal low for this time of year, and our record low 38, and that was set in 1976. Sun came up at 5:07 this morning and sets tonight at 8:52. All right, here you go with your Wednesday temperatures, a lot like today. In fact, the weather tomorrow almost a carbon copy of today. 81s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy into Wenatchee, 80 in Eniat and Chelan, also 80 up in Omak, mid to upper 70s. Lake Wenatchee and Leavenworth and Cashmere, you should see around 80 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow as well. Tonight, we can expect high pressure to dominate our weather, and it's going to stay there for the entire week. Clear, maybe a little breezy tonight in north central Washington. Overnight low temperatures into the low 50s tonight. As we get you into Wednesday, as we mentioned, a lot like today, mostly sunny, maybe some high, thin clouds out there for Wednesday. Should be very comfortable with highs again into the low 80s. And then things start getting, if you don't like heat that much, a little uncomfortable as we get into Thursday. Sunny and warmer. High pressure slides a little bit closer to the coastline, and that'll increase our temperatures. Mid 80s for highs on Thursday afternoon. And boy, then the heat is on as we get into Friday and the upcoming weekend. Sunny, maybe a little bit breezy on Friday. Very high weather danger Friday afternoon into Friday evening. We're going to warm up too to around 90 degrees by Friday afternoon, and that's nothing yet. Wait till we get into the upcoming weekend. Saturday, sunny and warmer, clear skies all over the western United States. We're talking readings Saturday afternoon into the mid 90s, and by the time we get to the end of the weekend on Sunday, sunny and downright hot. This is where we could see some records fall. Upper 90s to near 100 degrees expected on Sunday. And as we get to Monday, not much change in that forecast. Sunny skies, high pressure still off our west coast. We'll see unseasonably hot weather. Maybe a little breezy in the afternoon Monday. It's not going to stop our temperatures from climbing all the way up into the mid and upper 90s. Here's a look at 7-day forecast. 53 overnight, mostly sunny, 81 for Wednesday, sunny and 86 Thursday, and then the heat is on as we get into Friday, sunny and 90, 94 for your highs Saturday and the weekend, and then Sunday and Monday, just brutal weather. Sunny both days with high temperatures near 100 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Celebrate the class of 2025 with the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee ceremony Friday, June 6th, starting at 6 p.m. Coverage is sponsored by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Latimer Integrative Chiropractic and Rehab, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley College, and Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of Eastmont and Wenatchee's graduation Friday, June 6th on the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Mariners begin a first of a three-game series against the Orioles tonight at T-Mobile Park. Seattle comes into the ball game leading the American League West with a 32-26 record. Meanwhile, Baltimore is off to a disappointing 22-36 record so far. They're last in the American League West. Orioles won 91 games a season ago and were a wild card playoff team. Now they trail the Yankees in the division by 14 games. Baltimore sends four-game winner Tomoyuki Sagano to the mound to face Seattle's George Kirby. Now, Kirby has struggled in his first two starts after beginning the season on the injured list with an 0-2 record and an inflated 11.42 ERA. First pitch at T-Mobile Park at 6:40. That's going to be broadcast on Root Sports Northwest. There were only two games involving division teams in the American League West last night. The Angels beat Boston 7-6, while the Athletics fell to the Twins 10-4. Seattle remains a half game in front of Houston in the standings as the Astros begin the first of three games in Pittsburgh. Two Seattle Mariners of note have worn the number 51 jersey, Ichiro Suzuki and Randy Johnson. Ichiro's number 51 will be retired in August after his induction into the Hall of Fame. Mariners announced Monday that the Big Unit's number 51 will also be retired next year. Randy said he was adamant that Ichiro receive his honor this year. He'll wait till next season. Well, the Seahawks continue OTAs at the VMAC in Renton. Not surprisingly, considering the background of head coach Mike Macdonald, the defense is getting the center of attention. Nose guard Jaron Reed says there's a more comfortable season going into year two with this year's coaching staff.
Just communication and be able to play faster than what we was playing. You know, when we came in at first, it is a big playbook, so, you know, it's a lot to learn. And I think that now, just banking off of last year, growing what we already know, coming in and then redoing it, it's like, you know, reading the same book over and over again. And so now we get to go out on the field and just play fast. And I think that plays a huge part into being successful, into executing our plays.
Defensive coordinator Adden Dirty says it's better for the coaching staff to be more familiar with the players and the scheme heading into year two.
It's there's a lot of similarities. It's just, you know, the people better. There's a lot more trust built. The communication smoother. Yeah, it's fun. I just think it allows the defense, from the defensive perspective, it allows them to connect more. You know, it allows the coaches to connect with them more. Like, you have to go back to square one. Like, no matter what foundation you've built, you have to go back to square one, reteach it, and build it up again. Like, we got a stronger foundation this time. Last year, we was doing it from just brand new, but now it's obviously we're building on the same thing. So now it allows you to, I would say, connection, and then we can teach some of the whys within the plays.
Seattle's defense improved from 30th in the NFL in 2023 to 14th last season. Jaron Reed says they have much higher goals heading into this season.
My personal goal, my opinion, which I think that everybody, you know, will back me on this, is that we want to be number one. You know, we want to be number one in every category. That's what we're striving for. I mean, we're hungry. You know, every game may not be perfect, but, you know, that's what we're striving for. That's what we're working hard to get to. I think everybody kind of, you know, just deflated the balloon a little bit because last year, I think, you know, we weren't holding our breath, but, you know, nobody knew what to expect. It was a new staff, you know, and for us, we were new players, and for us to them, it was new coaching staff. So everybody had to learn each other, you know, learn our likes, what we like, you know, how we play. And I think it's the main thing. It seems like everybody now is just meshing and gelling together. And I'm really excited to see how this season goes.
Defensive back Devin Weatherspoon says he and the rest of the defense are prepared to carry the load for the entire team if need be this season. You can go to Seahawks.com for more information on OTAs as well as the Seahawks schedule. Following a series win over Yakima Valley last weekend, the Wenatchee Apple Sox continue a season-opening homestand tonight. Wenatchee welcomes the 0-3 Kelowna Falcons to town for the first of a three-game series at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Kelowna is coming off an opening weekend sweep at the hands of visiting Victoria at Elk Stadium. The Apple Sox 2-1 after losing 5-1 on opening night, but coming back to beat the Pippins of Yakima Valley 10-0 on Saturday and 17-4 Sunday. NCWLIFE channel will have live coverage of tonight's game, beginning with the pregame at 6:30. Tune in as yours truly and Brandon Schmitten have the call with our televised action not only on TV, on Local Tel, and on Charter, but also streaming on our Facebook page, our website, and our YouTube page. That's Check It Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a good Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.